some rumblings that occurred during the week between Dallas Cowboys linebacker slash edge rusher and I guess the media and Jordan Mailata, right? Uh, it is literally the dumbest exchange in the book. The talk about it was equally not so smart, where Micah Parsons, who is a really good player, there's no doubt about that. Anyone saying that he's not a good player needs to look at the film because he is a very good player. And if he's not the defensive player of the year, he's got to be in the top five. Got to be in the top five. When I first saw that guy play in the NFL, I think it was the Hall of Fame game between the Steelers and the Cowboys. That dude was running side to side. I said, this dude's going to be a problem. And he's a really good player. He's a really good player. He was on some podcasts with Von Miller, and he basically came out and said that it's not the Eagles, or it's not Jalen Hurts as much as it is the system, right? A lot of people have been saying that Jalen Hurts should be the MVP. A lot of people have disagreed. It's whatever. I couldn't care less if Jalen Hurts becomes the MVP. Couldn't care less. Would it be great if, the Eagles finally got their first league MVP, which the Eagles have never had a league MVP during the Super Bowl era. I believe they might have had one league. I think Norm Van Brocklin was a league MVP for the Eagles. I could be wrong about that. But in all honesty, that doesn't even matter to me because wins and losses during the season matters a whole lot more than an award right before the playoffs. That's just something that I don't even really pay that much mind to. But he said that the Eagles system is the reason why the Eagles are so good, and the Eagles team is the reason why the Eagles are so good, and not as much Jalen Hurts. And again, people got so mad about this, especially Eagles fans. And let me just come out and tell you this. Jalen Hurts did not play like an MVP today. Right? I don't even think the MVP award or a possible MVP award even strikes his mind. I would tell him, they think you might be an MVP, but you didn't play that way today. You played really well during the season, but there's more to play. There's more to do than just an MVP award. The other side of that is the fact that I fully believe in bulletin board material, and that was just something that I wouldn't have said. I would not have said what Micah Parsons said, and it very well could not matter, but I would be so mad if an Eagles player had come out and said something like that. I really would. Because talk is cheap. It's what goes on the field that really matters. And the way that could put up bulletin board material, that would just drive me up a wall. Because Micah Parsons, while being a really good defensive player, one of the best, I would say that it's very close to being a second coming of Lawrence Taylor, who was a great defensive player in his own right. Didn't play that well against the Eagles. He didn't. It was just like a blemish for him on the season, where the Eagles kind of just outsmarted the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. Not saying that's going to happen again, but I just wouldn't have said anything. I really wouldn't have. And Unfortunately, we have to speak. We don't have to speak about it today, but I have to acknowledge it because I think it's ridiculous. It was something that he didn't even need to bring up. Like, what is it like? There's such thing as like player speak and coach speak, where like even if you don't mean what you're saying, you at least need to say, at least be like complimentary, to not put up that bulletin board material. Like even if you think a player is not going to be good, like I really don't think that the Eagles respected the Bears this week at all, despite the fact that they're going to be a problem. Oh, that player, they're actually pretty good. No, no, that's all player and coach speak for like, I don't want to get myself in trouble with the media. And that's how this started. And of course, like everybody had to have their opinion about this, which is their right. And like some of the weirdest people just came to the forefront and just felt like, oh, I wouldn't have, he's not that good. It's all about the team. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I would say that the Eagles wouldn't be the team that they are right now. They wouldn't be 13-1 at this point if they didn't have A.J. Brown, if they didn't have one of the better offensive lines in the league, if they didn't have the talent that they have on defense, if Jalen Hurts wasn't making good decisions until today. That's the reason why the Eagles are 13-1. At the end of the day, it's a team sport. It's a team sport. And usually they give the MVP award to the individual with the best overall statistics. And, I think it's like probably like a close three-way tie between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Whoever wins, wins. But it's irrelevant to me because there are more important accolades to gain during the regular season than the MVP award. And I think that people just waste too much time caring about what this guy has to say or what that guy has to say when really none of those people should even be making that call because some of them have real specific biases, like people who don't even add that specific player to a top 40 list in 2021. That person knows exactly who they are, just absolutely intellectually bankrupt, in my opinion. But again, like, the comments that Micah Parsons made, it doesn't really matter for what's going to happen during the game, but I personally, as a fan, would be upset if that was what a player of mine was saying, even if it was truthful or not. That's just my personal opinion. And, anyone out there is allowed to have their very own opinion about whatever they want. I'm kind of just, slipping my 2 cents in about that subject.